Hey guys, welcome back to another episode in our Valheim Let's Build. Behind me, you might notice, is quite a mess. I've been doing some work to this mountain behind us. We're actually well above our little town that we started making. And you know, I wasn't too happy with this area and I couldn't figure out why. And then it hit me that I really didn't like this river. I didn't like the massive hill. So I've been doing some work here, and as you can see, it is completely destroyed and changed and all kinds of things. So what I've been doing, actually, I had to go into creative mode to do this because it just took so much stone. Basically what I did is I have built up the mountain. I've put in a little thing here so it looks like it's all, what do you call it, like built in. We're going to be able to take a boat through here and it's going to be underground. And it's going to look super cool. It's kind of like a ruin type thing I want it to look like. So basically what I had to do though is I used a hoe and about an hour of time and built this all up. Now you can see this isn't built up in the center, and the reason for that is you can only build the ground up 16 times max, which means this is as high as this piece of ground can go right here, because that's where the river was, and we actually went down with it a little bit initially, so this doesn't go any higher, which is perfectly fine. What we're going to do is we're going to build across here, and we're going to fill all this in, and we're going to make this a super nice, we're going to make this a Viking Hall, actually. And we're going to shape the ground behind it after we're done, and it's going to look pretty awesome. So the inspiration behind this is actually from a game called For Honor, which I've never played, but I've seen screenshots, and we are going to start, well, it's going to be inspired by that. Not exactly, just inspired by. So let's get started. Okay, I have our first part laid out here. Now, basically all I've done is I have put wood iron beams and then stone on top. So I'm hoping what this is going to do is provide enough support. So there's one row right in the center of these, and then the row here. So this will support this beam and the one next to it, and then this one here should be all green. Yeah, so it's supported well enough. So our main build is going to start right here. We're going to use these tall gates. Let's actually put it. Yeah, let's go right here. It's probably. Yeah, I hope this is going to be far enough back. I hope, you know what? Let's go here because I don't know exactly where I'm going to put, how much room we're going to have for some of this stuff. So, one thing I want to do for this build, a lot of people have been asking me to do, is to use, I need core wood, damn. Is to use creative mode. Now, I'm not going to quite use creative mode for this, but what we are going to do is things that we can farm, trees, stone, etc. I am going to probably spawn in if I need an excess amount. Stone and wood for sure, and the reason for that is just to save some time. I want to keep the build going the same way I have been, where I only use things that we can spawn. Or that we can farm. So basically, I'm at Bronze Age. I don't want to be able to go and get like wolf stuff, and I don't want to be able to go do all that stuff. I don't want black metal iron and all that kind of thing, or black iron, whatever it's called. I want to be able to progress this as it is. That way, it's the same as the series has always been, where we can play. It's a playthrough, and we're building this as we play through it. So the thing I'm going to save time on is spawning in a few of those materials. So hope that's okay with everybody, but it should help this build. Anyways, I'm going to start throwing some stuff down, and I'll see you guys shortly. Okay, so once you have this main part done here, basically I'm just laying this out because I know the width that I want of this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put some like lattice, kind of like this, up in here, and we're gonna fill all this in and make it look all fancy. And this is the main entrance, so there's gonna be stairs kind of coming down, and we'll build this up. I'm not really sure how yet, but we're gonna build that all up. As you can see already, this is a ton of stone, which is why I'm being cautious on how to use it, but it's a ton of stone. So here, I know I want this to be 3 wide, so basically I'm using one of these large stones, so it's like the 2x4 or 4x2, and then a 2x1. So the reason for that is because this is basically 3 walls wide. There's one there, then it'll be there, and then it'll be here. And it overlaps a little bit because of the fact that I'm putting it against this wall. But then I've also put a pillar right in, and let me see if you can see it. The pillar right there, and I've done that just because I wanted to hide a gap that's here. And then we're gonna put these core wood going up. Now, one thing you can do here if you want, so this is pretty flat. Like, these are pretty flat walls, and it doesn't look the greatest. What you can do if you really want, now that you know the size, is you can kind of mess around with the placement of these and make this kind of like fit better. Another thing you can do, if I can do it, if you hold shift, you can you can unsnap it, right? So like, let's put you forward a little bit. Let's sink you in a little bit. And then we'll put one here just to, there we go. So the wall doesn't have to be perfect, right? You can get some like pieces going in and out and make it look all fancy. So make sure you do some stuff like that along a build will definitely help. All right, from here, we're gonna add our walls. They're gonna go all the way down here and around and back. So basically what we're gonna do, I wanna put, we're gonna use these large things. I wanna put, let's put it right up against there. And then we're gonna do a double one. Same as I did over here, basically. And the reason for it is I wanna have 3 walls wide. So it'll be wall, window, wall, basically. So this is gonna be like, there'll be, what do you call it? The wall up here, right? So it'll be like this. And then we'll put a window in here. So if we do this, I want to do it all the way around. One, two, it'll be 3 times. So there'll be wall, window, window, wall. Okay. And then in here, what we'll end up doing, between these will be like this. There will be a pillar here, kind of like so. And then here, we're gonna start doing a curved wall. Now basically, because this game has, like to do a circle, you have like straight, then there's 3 ticks between straight again. So we're gonna do 1 of each. So I'm gonna click like this, line it up, put 1 there. I might need to put a floor into this. Let's do a floor here. All right, that'll go there. Same thing. We might have to push this back a little bit. And then, yeah, let me just push this back. One, 2, 3, and then it'll be flat. Okay. Now, you might be asking yourself why I'm building this so far back into this mountain. Well, unfortunately, because the way we've built this up over here, I can't bring this ground, like this piece of ground right here, this one here, this is as high as I get it to go. It'll be this front one that I haven't built up will be as high as it can go, will be right there. Because it's so far down, just like this over here, can only go up 16 pieces, so it won't come up high enough. So the options are to either lower all of this or just dig this into the hill a little bit. And the one thing about this that's pretty easy is to clear this out. If I was to take my pickaxe now and hit this here, it's gonna, wrong spot. It's gonna clear right there at the bottom. It's gonna clear forward all the way up, and it's going to be relatively flat. So it might be a little bit of flattening here, but like not nearly as much as you'd have to if you had to use the hoe. So as long as you're hitting relatively the right spot, I can clear this area pretty fast. It might be a little bit up, and we might have to do a little bit of cleaning up, but I mean, this is pretty simple to terraform, and now we're relatively flat and good to go. So that's why I'm not too worried about this. Also, this is going to be relatively big here, but if you might notice, from here to here, if you watch my solo series, this is 10 floors wide, which is the same width as our treehouse in the dining area. So it looks bigger than it actually is. So yeah, let me finish some walls here, and I'll bring you guys back in a bit. All right, so basically all you want to do is put a wall, a window, a wall, frame it in, frame all this around, put a frame piece around here, and then you're going to want to put core wood going up, and these are going to be kind of our support beams. Now on the inside, you're going to see I put a floor in here now really quick, and one thing I've done, I put a floor in just to measure this, because one thing we've done, in the little time lapse there, I actually sunk these into each other. So when I put it in, this is actually moved over and there's no gap here. You actually want this little bit of a gap in all of these. So you're gonna snap it so the edges, the inside edges touch and the outside don't. And we'll fix this after. But the reason for that is it actually makes this so this is actually a perfect number of floors over to this side. So I think it's 10 floors, and it works perfectly. Otherwise, you're gonna have a gap about half a floor, and you're gonna have to figure that out all the way around, which also makes the roof, I believe, is gonna make the roof more of a pain than it's gonna be worth. Speaking of the roof, let's wait till morning, and then we'll do that. Alright, so the roof here is mostly finished. Now let's go through it because it's kind of complicated. So basically what I did is we did the outside edges here first, right? The straights. These ones go up 4 times. And then I did a row of 4 on each of them. So you left a little gap. So I did I did it based off the wood walls here. So you leave a gap, and then you do the second wall, second roof basically. You do 4 high. Same with here, all the way up, 4 high, all the way around. We left this centerpiece open. The centerpiece is right here. And then basically I was able to just go underneath and fill it. Now you can see the snap points are kind of wherever. I can snap right in the center of these. I can snap kind of all over. And it's because of these wood beams that we put in here that I can make a bunch of different snap points. I can actually do 3 or 4 different snap points right here, which is kind of cool. So one thing I did also is once we started filling these in, you can see right here, there's a row of 3. Right? So this, let me just break these and I'll show you. So it looked like this before. Once they go away, it looked like this. There's a row of 4, and then we have this gap to fill. So basically what I did is I took our piece, I went here, put this one in, and then this one here as well. Now, the third one is just to fill this little hole here. But one thing we can do, if we don't want to make it, like this kind of gets a little obtrusive and a little messy on top if you put it here, right? So if you don't want that, what you can do, take some damage and jump inside. You didn't need to jump and actually take a lot of damage. But you can see I can actually go here and I can actually kind of play around with the snap points. There's one there, there's one right there, which is probably the perfect one. Just play around with the snap points. You can get a bunch of them. If I put that there, you will barely notice on the inside that that is like off. And on the top, you're not going to really notice. Let's just get up there real quick. So on the top here now, you're going to notice this is barely visible. You can't even tell it's there. It's buried underneath the beam. Everything looks good. So just remember, when you're making roofs, if you put these extra beams in and kind of do some framing and stuff, you can get lots of different snap points, and there's no one way to do a roof. I know a lot of people question roofs and stuff, but there is no one way. Basically, just put pieces down until it looks half decent until you're happy with it. That's the best way to do it. All right, roof's done. Floor is in. Now, I've gone halfway up this wall, for a very specific reason. I cannot talk. And the reason for that is because a stairway is half a wall high, right? So it's gonna go here. So basically what's gonna happen is as we come in this room, once we finish this part, there's gonna be a spot somewhere in here where we're gonna go up a level, right? So the floor is actually gonna be this high all the way through here, or through most of it anyways. So I want this up there, and it also gives a good spot. There's a little bit of a ledge and a window. What you could do, which I don't think it would work easy, but if you really wanted to try and make it, you know, kind of more interesting, you could put this on the inside of the ledge, which might be okay, or you could hold shift and center it, but I don't know if that would work well with the roof. Anyways, what I want to do now is, well, we're gonna finish this all the way around, but on the outside here, I've taken the roof and I have hung it all the way over one time. Now you'll notice here I only did this part of the roof, and the reason for that's pretty simple. There is going to be a walkway up here. Can I jump? Oh yeah. So we're going to need to line this all, which I've done most of it. That one's warped all, or wore out all good already. This is going to be a walkway. So eventually here, once we build this wall up, there's going to be, like say I do this, there's going to be a doorway here, and there's going to be an outside little patio balcony thing that turns and goes in this way. So that's why we're leaving it like that. What I do need to do though here, I want to do something kind of fancy here, and I don't know if it's going to be too much or not, but what we're going to do is on each of these, we could probably, I think we will, do every time there's a pillar, let me hop back up here. There's going to be a pillar here, put one of those. There's a pillar on the third roof, put one there. Again, the third roof. And then this one's kind of a bit funky, but it should be like right there, basically, somewhere in there, right? So that gives that a little bit of definition. Now we're gonna take another one of these, and we're gonna put it. Let's use the sharp ones. Let's use the longer ones, and we're gonna do just these three for now. We could do this all the way around, and we probably should, but for now, just these three. And then what I want to do is I want to grab some fine wood. And we are going to put these dragon heads, or whatever, serpent heads, on these. Now, I wish these were a little bit different shape. I wish we had like an S to them, a little bit smaller. But I think this would be kind of cool, having like, oh, I'm missing fine wood. Having a little bit of like a decoration to these. And again, this might be too much. It might be something we don't want, but for now, I'm gonna leave them in there. All right, before I move on to the main entrance, we have all these holes here to deal with. Now, what we can do, and I'm gonna try, is if we take, we're gonna put these pillars, these corewood pillars on each of these. But what we can do for now, take these ones here, the 2-meter poles, and if you turn them to be matching the wall, so like that one's there, this one will be rotated just a little bit, and we put them in, you can actually match them really well, and it actually fills this hole very, very nicely. So let's do that all the way around. Let's work on the entrance here. So I've kind of decided I want to put a stone pillar here. Let's put it there. And basically this pillar is going to go quite high. At the end of this, it's going to end up being, well, pretty much the tallest roof that we're going to have. And same with this one here. They're going to go up, oh, quite a ways. So what we're going to end up having is a little bit of a lattice work in here, which I'll probably just do with these X's, I think. Yeah, I was going to do a little bit higher. I think this will be okay. We'll line this, and then we're going to put a roof on it, and then we're going to put another roof on that, and then another roof on that. But what I want to do here, it's getting dark, so I will make a day in a minute. What I want to do, though, is move the stone cutter forward, because they're out of the way. And we're going to put a little thing in here, which basically is going to go out like this, and it is going to go pretty much in here. I think we'll probably curve it a little bit. Make a little pattern. Something kind of like this at the end. I'll make it in daytime. I'll show you guys in a minute. And then we're gonna put bonfires in here. We're gonna build this up and put bonfires. And then we're gonna actually put this here. Is going to end up with wood walls all the way up. Okay, so I had plans to put a bonfire in here, but unfortunately, first of all, It's too big to fit in here. Second of all, you can't put bonfires on stone, I guess. It has to be actually on ground. And this spot here and that spot on that side where it would go, there's actually no ground there. So the only thing I could do then is actually like move this farther out, and it'd be a pain, so I don't want to do that. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to build this up. I'll probably just do like this for now. And is that going to be high enough? I think I'm going to take this right to the top, which kind of sucks. I don't really want to do that. And then we're going to put just a hearth on top of this. I don't know if I want to... No, let's go down. Let's sink it down one. Let's just put it here like this. Hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll look alright. I'll put some wood in after. I'll fill this part in, and all I've done basically is around the edge, we've put the blocks, and on the inside of the block, I have just put a frame with these crosses, and then another piece of frame on top. And basically that's just gonna tie this all in, so we've got two like big fires on either side of the door, and then we'll do our steps going down, and we are gonna work on our entranceway, which goes up from here. Okay, so now on this part of the roof, I'm going to do something. So specifically this block right here. Because the pillar is below it, you can see, we can actually put this like so. It's half hanging off the roof. Reason for that is it's actually snapping to the pillar. Now I can snap these pieces to this. So it's all snapping off of that one piece that's now attached to the pillar. This might be a little bit of a pain to put on here. There we go. And we put this one in, it'll be the exact same thing. We're gonna aim for this, but it will attach to this pillar. So then it's gonna end up being damage on me. It's gonna end up being half a block hanging over, which is perfect, and it looks really good, I think. Yeah, I really, really like that. Now, one thing I wanna do, I kinda wanna take, let's go with these two pieces here. We're actually gonna move them down one. So they were there. Let's go down to here on both sides. And then we're going to fill this. So we're going to go... let's just do 2 X's. But on the inside, though. On the inside of it. Oh, start with the glare. Sorry. Okay. And then we'll do the same up at the top here. Hopefully this works. Again, sorry for the glare. And then we'll move these two down and do the exact same thing. Okay, so this is pretty much done now. I did the other side. Now we could probably fill these and make this a little bit better, but I'm not too worried about it for now. They're fires and they look good. They're on either side of the doorway, and that's what matters. What we might do though in the future is we might make this a little bit taller. It might actually have to go one pillar higher, but we'll wait for now and we'll see how this looks. So here what I want to do, we're going to actually add a floor, and it's going to come back... I'm not sure how far yet. Kind of thinking here-ish somewhere. Now this is going to be a second floor, and I'm hoping it's not too low. It might be a little bit low, but we might not fill this whole thing. It might just be like a balcony, or I'm not too sure yet. But this right here is going to be outside. So what I'm going to want to do is we're going to want to take and put pillars. Let's see here. Probably just like so, to be honest. And then we'll do some decorating or whatever. Again, we're using all these X's, but it's kind of the only decoration we've got, unless we just did like this. And I don't like it. I'd rather do the X's. They look a little bit cleaner in my opinion. So we can just snap these in, maybe, right? And then we'll frame it as we normally do. So it would be like that, and that's our outside railing. And then we'll put stuff on here, but. What we're going to do is do a door here, so we're going to need to do... Well, we could do this kind of right in the center if we wanted. Or, what's a better way to do it? All right, so once this door is done, you're gonna want to put a wall in here. The wall goes all the way down. We're gonna go up to this roof with it. We're gonna rail it, and then we're gonna put another wall in here with another door. Same thing with the door that I did here. Basically, just kind of build it up if you want it to be centered between two boards. If not, you can put it. You can center it to this one, and it'd be no problem. You can kind of place this wherever you want. I'm just kind of putting it here because that's just kind of where it was. Now, what I might actually do is take these couple things out, and we might, once we put this floor in inside of here. Can I set this in here for a second? So once we have this in here, what I might do is actually take one of these half floors like this and put that there, and then put these windows on it, and that might sink it in by a half a floor, and that might look kind of cool. But I'm gonna do that like later. That's not a now thing. That'll be like an aesthetic I can try out in the future. So from here, this is the next floor. We need a roof. So before we do the roof, what I'm actually gonna do, we're gonna need to do the floors and stuff in here because we're gonna need to support this. So what we're gonna do is I want to take what we've got now and I want to duplicate it to the other side. Once we've done that, then we can continue. So I'm just gonna time lapse this because it's exactly what we've already done. I need to dig a lot of this stuff out. Yeah, so I will be a bit and I will see you guys shortly. All right, I've got this side caught up the same as the other side, so everything is good. The roof is done. The second balcony is done. You can see here I've actually added this wall. We have to do it on the other side as well. I think I've done it already, but I've done a little, so I've done a little accent in here. Now, basically these walls are pretty boring. I did these little stripes here just because it adds a little something. But we gotta figure out something better to do on these walls because they are pretty boring when they're just like flat like this. But at least putting in these little angles at least like does something for the look. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it is like a little bit nicer. And they're a pain in the ass to get sunk in there, and yeah. But it is something. But then so I went ahead also and I fixed these up a little bit so you can actually see on the inside. Probably on this one's better. There's two fire pits now, and the stone is also higher, so you don't sink in as much. But I figured I wanted to fill this as much as possible without burning myself. I wanted to fill these in as much as possible because from a distance, they're kind of like it's a pretty good accent. So like, you want to be able to see this from a long ways away. This is supposed to be a very powerful building, right? And I think that really, really adds to it. Now again, we might lift this roof a little bit, but I'm not too sure yet. What I want to do right now is kind of change gears a bit. So inside here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the second floor. But this floor down here, initially I was gonna raise this entire thing. But I think what we're gonna do instead is we are gonna have our main floor kind of level here. So we're gonna do stone all the way back to here. Probably back to this wall. And I'm gonna push this wall back just a little bit more. And then we're gonna have like our little throne room area here. And that's gonna be elevated up a little bit. And then we're gonna have this area kind of flat, the same height as this for most of this. And we have to do a few like balconies up and some storage areas, little extra rooms. Like there's probably gonna be a room here There might be some floors going up, might be some walls in here, and this floor might change yet. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet. I don't really have, like I said, I'm using this based on inspiration from For Honor, but I don't really have a lot of interior looks, so we're gonna make this up as we go. But I want to do that because I want to keep room for our second floor, right? Our second floor is going to go here, and then we're going to have, this is going to actually have some steps up into it, and we might have some steps down. I got a few plans, but it's going to be a pain. But for now, let's start with getting this main floor area laid out and done. Okay, so back here we have our elevated platform for our throne. Now, I use stone because, well, I haven't really used stone for this yet. We do this a lot, though, with the elevated throne thing. But I think it looks really good, and most Viking things seem to have this, so whatever. I lined this the stone with wood, which I think really looks good as well. It kind of gives it a little bit more, like, shape and a little bit more of a better feel here, a little more finish. The only problem I'm having now is I don't know if this roof is high enough. I'm kind of like, up in the air if this part is going to be high enough above. Like, I mean, the throne isn't that big. Like, if I use this, it'll be pretty good. But, I mean, I don't know. I can't decide if this is high enough or not. So, what we're going to do is turn our attention over here now, because what's supposed to happen is we're going to end up having, like, some steps that go here, basically, going up, and they are going to lead to a balcony that is at this height. This is the way out, so the balcony is basically right here, and it's going to be rounded right over to here. So we'll do the thing. We'll make it like, kind of like whatever. We'll round it and make it go over, and then this will be open, and then there'll be the way outside, right? And there'll be like a little way across here. So you go outside, you can go across, you can go across this way. And then this whole thing will be open to the roof above, right? So yeah, I'm hoping this is gonna work, but we're also gonna end up changing this. I know for sure now this needs to be a bit higher, because we're actually gonna end up putting another doorway at the same height right here. So I want this piece to be a little bit higher, and then we're gonna add windows in this wall. So we got lots to do. so this is getting bigger and bigger than I thought it was going to, but it started to look really good. So we've got our two entrances here. We've got our stairs coming up. This has got a rail on it. As far as floor goes, there's no like right way to do this, and having like a little bit of a chaotic floor doesn't matter. Like some of these are just like overlapping and stuff, and I think that's a good thing. If you have it all just flat and like normal, there's no design, doesn't look very good. Like this could be broken up and make it look better, you know? I don't mind this at all, having a little bit more chaoticness. And then over here, we've got these couple like, I mean, they're not really windows. We could actually make them windows, but I want them to be like lattice. Like there's a whole thing about this where it doesn't, nothing is like open to the world. It's always like covered in some way, I find. And then when you're doing a custom door, obviously this one's a little bit wonky. And it's because I'm doing these like myself, these three pillars going up. And I could probably move this, let me get this out of the way, move this a little bit forward if we have to, like it sticks out on this side and then on this side. So we could fix that, but I'm really not too concerned about it. There's a little bit of a balcony here that goes out, and then this is just, all I did was move that stuff up that was down. I just moved it up, made it a little bit, like cleaned the lattice up a little bit so it's framed all the way around. And now we're gonna toss our roof on it. And I'm hoping that this is gonna work because we're going to be a little bit taller than I initially wanted to. And we're supposed to have, like, if I put the roof on here, let's just do it real quick. What I wanted to have is... actually, this will be alright if I do it like that. I wanted to have this wall be one higher than this. So basically it was going to be, like, this would be even with it, if I put that there. And then there'd be another half wall that is kind of like, it was going to end up being one of these. So it's going to be the same design we had on the tavern. And then another half wall, and then the roof. But that's getting really tall, and I don't know if that's what we want or not. We're going to figure that out as we go. But first, let's do this roof here, get this all cleaned up, and we'll make sure this is what we want before we move on too far. Alright, so once this balcony is done, we're going to start working on some of the roof parts because we need that to make the next floors work properly. I'm not sure I like the piece above the throne room here yet, but we do know that this will be as high as this roof is going to go. So basically these pieces are just here for me to climb on. This is as tall as these pillars are going to go, and it works out that it's a full pillar, so that's where the roof will start. So over here what I did is I actually broke this open and put another platform around, and this is going to go this way. And then it's going to go all the way back through here. So in the actual concept art of For Honor, this is like a storage room on this side, and we're going to make it that way. But we need roof first. So this roof here, we're going to use the 45-degree roofs, and we're just going to put a row here. And you can see they're half overhanging. So I did that by placing an X here, like so, right? And then snapping to the X, and then going from there. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to do one more piece. I want this to overhang another half here, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to snap a piece right here on the bottom, and then we're going to take our 45 and we're going to snap it to that piece, which you'll see then it actually overlays half on the roof, and we now have a half overhanging piece of roof. Okay guys, so this roof is a little bit tricky, but I'm gonna explain how I've done it, and then we're gonna go through and I'll show you guys like the normal time-lapse things that I normally do on the other three parts of this roof, because it's over there as well and over here. So basically what I had to do is I've added these iron beams here, right, these iron poles. We've taken out the, actually there was no pole here before. I had to add this one in, I think, and we're probably gonna add another one over here to support the roof anyways. So this roof is going to go, or this piece is going to go all the way up and through the roof because it's going to support the main roof in the center once we get there. So what we've done is I have, like I said, I've overhung, there we go, this one by a half, right? So I put an X in the side, then I put the roof on, the 45-degree roof. It overhangs down. I did that piece across, another 45, and then the top couple, there should be 3 that are the 26-degree. So it gets a nice little rounded feel to it. I mean, kind of. It's the best we can do with the 2 pieces of the 2 degrees we've got. Over here, I did the same thing. So we had these initial ones here, which these ones might come out. So for now, what I've done is I've moved this over and I've put another iron beam through here. Now, I stuck it up the top a little bit. It's the best we're gonna do for now. We might break it after and sink it down, just so it doesn't look so bad. But I don't think it actually is gonna matter if it sticks a little bit. I'm really not concerned with that. So then, if we have to, we can break these and it should be okay. But I'm not quite willing to break those yet because we're gonna do a bunch of work down here that might make this might make that necessary. So yeah, we can leave that for now. I also added these 2 beams in here and reinforced them just like this. It's just a piece across. They're not necessary, I don't think, anymore, but I put them in anyways, and you know what? They're not bad to just have there. I don't mind having that look. And what you can do is you can, you should be able to anyways, you should be able to hide these by just snapping one of these onto it if you don't like this look. Like we can just, and that's now gone. So you might notice this one here is kind of off-centered. So what I've done to make this one work is I finished the floor out, and then you can see it's like kind of centered to here. So the best way to line this up, take a half floor, snap it here, and then you can snap this iron beam to the corner of that, and it's in a really nice placement. So the roofs are all finished. Now, all I did was the same thing that I did in the front half on the back half. I did have to add a little bit of a floor here to bring that out. Same with on this one. I just added an extra row, and then I put this little thing here, the same as this side, so the balcony would come in. And it would be the exact same thing that we're gonna have on that side. We can shape this and have a little balcony. I didn't worry about the walls yet, but you could toss the walls in if you wanted. And all I did for the beams was the same thing. I measured it out. I put a single floor piece where I needed it. So I got the snap point, snapped them, built them up, and then I built the roof. Now, what you can do if you want, you can see I did it on this one here. I did frame it a little bit first. I didn't need to on this side, but I did frame it here first. So that way it held the roof, and then I just filled in the gaps. Now, one thing we did here on this side, start with the glare, here, we hung this over, right? So we brought this out by a half. Now, we didn't actually need to do that yet. I actually didn't realize, but what I need to do, I'm just going to take it down for this moment. What I actually need to do is bring this wall, we're going to go right to here. And then we're going to bring this all the way over, and then we're going to overhang it. So it'll be the exact same thing. We'll just put, let me just do this wall over here real fast. I'll fill these in. I'm hoping that let me overhang at the bottom here first. And then I will just toss one of those in real quick. You there. And I should be able to toss this now right there. Perfect. And then we'll just continue up as normal. Now, if you need to put a support in here, that's perfectly fine. We can toss them anywhere we want in this area and make them work. So whatever you need to do to support, make sure you do it here. If it sticks through the top, like this might stick through, If you don't want it to stick through, you can always use different beams or whatever here to make it so it doesn't do that. It still does that way. Anyways, but we're gonna put a wall here anyhow. This is gonna be walled across here, and we won't have to worry about it. So whatever you do to make it supported is perfectly fine. For now, I'm just gonna toss this. I don't mind that it sticks through. I think that's actually a cool little look to have little pieces here and there, just because it's more rugged. And then I'll finish this roof on both sides, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, so in order to extend that roof, I did have to go ahead and put a few iron poles in. So all I did was I went to the floor with them from a spot that I found. The part snapped basically right here in this corner. I snapped it up, and then I went down. And then one thing to remember when you do this, you need to make sure you actually break a floorboard and go to the floor. If you snap it to the floor, it won't have the durability as if you snapped it to the ground. So here's where we run into a few creative liberties that I don't quite know how I want to tackle yet. The first thing we have to do though, for sure, it won't make this snap properly. This needs to be a wall here. I want it to be right where these pillars are, so that this is overhanging by a half again. So in order to do this though, we are going to end up with some pieces either sticking out like that, which I don't want. So we're going to use these if we can, yes. But then the problem becomes like filling this area. Now it actually shouldn't be too big of an issue because if we have a gap, you're gonna see it if you look for it. So you could do this and kind of deal with it, or you could snap it through the roof and kind of deal with it on the underside. And either way is perfectly fine. There's gonna be ways to make that shape on the inside, which we're probably gonna do. What I'm gonna do is take this one out. At least for now, I'm just gonna snap snap a full wall here, and then we'll do a half wall, and we'll deal with it on the inside, I think. The same thing has to take place here. So basically on the inside, we have this like flat spot, right? So all this needs to be walled in at least to here, right? So basically what you can do is put a pillar up if you want. We had this as the pillar from before. This is where it was. So basically all I did was put a new piece right, I think there, going up. That's to the inside of this, the wall here, and then we just snap these things on, and fill what we need to fill. Now you're gonna have holes here because obviously this thing is like I wish we had different angled roofs, but we're obviously gonna have this nonsense shape. So what I did is I just put like some of these beams, snap them to the bottom, kind of deal with it. You know, it doesn't look the greatest. You can do whatever you want to get the shape to look how you want it, but we need this wall filled in. And then the creative liberty part comes in. Basically, we've got our main floor, then this floor, which would be an actual floor throughout here. And then there's also the upstairs area now. Oops, can I get up here? Come on, yep. Which is gonna be a wall all the way, and then the floor would fill all the way to the sides. So we have like a loft, a second floor, and a lower floor. Now what I'm thinking about doing is just taking some liberties, maybe putting some steps in here to kind of round this and kind of make, well, that won't work, but I was gonna say 2 floors instead of 3. This is gonna be part of the thing for like after, like I don't know what exactly I want to accomplish here. How many rooms do we want? I don't know. Why can't I climb this ladder? It just keeps kicking me off the side. So I am gonna fill this though. Make sure this is all done. I'm probably gonna put like a window in here and maybe some like that latticey stuff throughout. And then I'm probably gonna do a piece across the top here as well. Alright, so let me explain what I've done here. So, from the basement, or the bottom floor, we have filled in the floor. Just basically I put stone everywhere we needed it. Down here, this floor is all filled in. Obviously, like I said, the floor is there. Any beams that aren't necessary, except for these ones, I have taken out. So we don't have any extra, like, nonsense. And then I started shaping this. So, I actually went up here and on this floor, you can see this is the floor that was there before, and now it goes up a little bit. So I put a stair in there. Let me just run around. Alright, so I put steps up in here just to bring this floor up a little bit. Now this sticks through, which is kind of annoying, but you can walk through the center here. So I brought the stair up just a little bit because I wanted to have a little bit more room in the basement level, or the bottom level. And then I filled this floor in. Now this, in the concept art from For Honor, this was all for like storage. And that's what this is going to be on this side. It's going to be all storage, which is why it's all basic and kind of whatever. I wanted to make sure this looked kind of fancy, so there's a little bit of design up here, kind of hides it. There's going to be, so there's this little pathway up, kind of finicky to get up here. We got more storage, windows, whatever, so it goes to the outside. Looks pretty good. We need to finish this a little bit. I'll probably just take this and do like, finish these off. Just like so. This one probably needs it right in there. If I can snap it. I don't think that worked. I'm not sure where that snapped to. Anyways, you can do whatever kind of design you want in here. And then you got this nice little floor area. We do need to go ahead and, as always, just, I think it's better when you refine these edges and make sure they're solid like this. Put one there. We could put a rail up here. And then all this, again, is going to be like some kind of a storage or whatever you want in here. Now, on the other side, we're probably going to make this like a bedroom or something like that, I think. Something a little bit more fancy. What we can do on the other side, though, is leave this actually open. So you have more of like a vaulted type ceiling in here, and you can put some cool stuff in here. But I wanted to do it a little bit different on each side. So we've got definitely this really nice look going on over here. And then you come on the other side, and obviously this needs to be filled in. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to do the same wall there as we are here, but I think I'm going to. Now, what you could do, if you wanted to play around with this, you could take these 46s out. Let me just do a couple of them just to kind of see if it would work, make sure it would work. Come on. If I took 2 of those out, and I put 26s in here, now again, this is just a suggestion, something you could do if you wanted. You could go like that, and you could bring the wall here and make this entire thing on the inside of the build. Right? And I mean, obviously to reinforce this, but obviously this would all be inside then, and you'd have like a seating area, or again, storage, or whatever you wanted to put here. But I think we're gonna do like an outside area because we've built this into the mountain. It might be kind of cool to put like, well, maybe a pathway or something back here. I'm not sure, a tower maybe or something. I don't know. But I think for now I'm gonna leave it how it was, and we're just gonna quickly finish that. And then I need to take this entire system and do that side. So guys, I'm just working on copying this to the other side. All I've done so far is finish the roof, I've pulled it over, and then started this floor. Now, I'm just realizing I'm kind of dumb. Now, the reason for this, I'm thinking is, we have this roof in here, right? Well, could we not just get rid of it? We don't need it. Once the floor above is done, so up to this point, we can break I think all 6 of these and have a way more open room than what we have on the other side there. If we do that and then come up here, look how much more space that just creates underneath. So like this, there'll be a wall here, obviously we have to finish this wall. This is the outside wall, it's gonna come across. It'll finish this all the way through. We can break that one, I think. Absolutely we can. And then we have this whole open area. So if we don't want to put something up here, we've actually got so much more room. It's a nice vaulted ceiling. We've actually got, like if we put a window here, this is a huge area. So if we do the same thing, stepped up and then leave this open, we actually have a huge room over here, which I really, really, really like. So I've made this side quite a bit different than that side. Now, let's just quickly run through this. So, like I said, I deleted the floor, or the roof, sorry, that was here. Now you can get rid of some of this, like I've already fixed a few of these. You can get rid of some of the roofs that stick through. Basically, all you have to do is delete that one. I should be able to do it here, actually. If you delete this one, you've got a small hole here. And then all you gotta do is fill it with like a straight piece of roof. Now this might be hard to see from the inside, but you should be able to just snap a piece of roof in there if there's a hole right in here, right? I'll go to the outside and do it. Something like that. Nope, that's not it. Do it from the outside. It'll snap better. It'll look better. And then you're good to go. So then these roof pieces are these wall pieces. It's just a matter of what you want to do with them. If you want to like frame them in, make them look cool, you can do all that. You can make this all look like super nice. You could also change this so that way it's not walls here or whatever. So do some depth, do some X's, do whatever you need to do. I'm kind of just leaving that up to whoever is building. For now, I am going to come back to that part after because I want to actually do a little bit more work here. Like I'm probably just going to do some straight pieces across, maybe reframe this all. And then we have the actual room in here. So there's a room there with like this balcony piece here. Again, you could hide all this if you wanted to put walls straight down. You don't need to have this all open, which I'll probably do because I really don't like that little cubby hole thing there. And then we have to do all the finishing here of finishing the walkway all the way around. We need to make sure we don't fall off of here. This is all good to go. And the outside part is done. So it's all just framework at this point. And then what I've done is over here, I have actually removed all this floor. And we just made the rail go all the way around. And the reason for it is we put our chair in here. I want this to be very grand. This building is huge. Like there's so much going on in here, but it's a lot of open space right now. And I want to fill it with stuff, but I want this to always look like it's really big. You need to be sitting here and like, you know, you want to be able to address the people standing up there and the people above you maybe, you know, and you want to be able to like talk to the grand congregation or whatever people. So I want that to be very, very epic there. So we gotta finish all of that. Anywhere that needs finishing of like the edge pieces needs to be done pretty much any time now. Now this floor here, I think what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get rid of it. We're gonna lower it. So on one side, we're gonna have an elevated floor. This will finish up in a bit. That'll have elevated floor. And this, I think, will be a lowered floor. Now, the one thing about the actual concept of this place is there should be doors right in here. And the door should actually have like stairways going down into basements and stuff. We're not gonna do that. For one, the digging of all this stuff to rip it all out now to do parts of that is just so much extra work that I don't want to worry about it. So we're going to leave it as like this. We might add some windows throughout here. But for now, we're just going to lower this floor, make it flat on the ground. We're going to put some rooms in here. And these beams, we're actually going to hide using the core wood after. And then what I want to do, is that core wood there? I think it is. Yeah, so I'm going to snap the core wood onto those so you can still see it, but not. If you do it like that, I think there's a way you can snap it on there where it covers it almost like right there, almost completely covers it, which is really good. And then I want all these to be arches. So there's gonna be one here, one probably there, and then there, and then we're gonna make arches out of all this stuff because in the original concept there's lots of like this kind of thing. It's all usually stone or whatever. There's lots of like flourished arches and stuff, and then this will be like some kind of a room or whatever. This will be the main hall, and then I'll really clean up and make the rooms kind of separate. So we're definitely going to do stuff like that. So I'm going to spend a bunch of time, and we're going to basically do any kind of finishing and then decorating of this area. And then once that stuff's done, I'm going to do the roof. All right, a lot's happened. Let's go through it. Basically, what I've done is I've done a lot of little detail work. So you can see on each side of these now we have these stone pillars, and the reason for this is in the concept art is all these little outcroppings, and I wanted them to have this kind of feel to it. So it's kind of more of a castle thing, which I think looks really cool. How like you come in here, there'll be different lighting and stuff in here. We can put like trophies and stuff on the walls, especially back here where there's no windows. And then I've gone through on each pillar, so it's either going to be supported by one of these. I'm not sure what these are called, even, to be honest. The arches, I guess. And then I've put like supports here and here on every beam that doesn't have one of those. So like on both sides, there's two supports. And I think that little detail helps add a lot of depth to this. So it's like it's actually holding the floor up. And then over here, I have kind of walled this off because you can't get in from here, right? Because it's an elevated floor. And then same thing, I tied it in, little archway, and I'll fill this one in a minute. I just haven't finished it yet. And then we'll come up here, we'll have our little archway of whatever we want in here. Now, I do have to come through and cover these. I have covered, actually let's just do it now. I'm pretty sure I have covered every other set. So if you have to, no, one sec. So sometimes they're a bitch to line up. But there we go. Perfect. Now you don't even know it's an iron pole. And then, yeah, on this side, same thing. I've put the pillars here. So these two pillars kind of double up just because of the stairs, which is why I did that. Now you can see this one is a little bit farther forward than this one. This one's actually sunk in. That one's pulled out a little bit. It's just how I made it, and I didn't realize it at first. And you know what? I'm not too worried about it. It's stone. It will not be perfect, right? And I feel like, honestly, in a build like this, if it's perfect, it won't look right. If you have little things like that, I think it looks better. That's why I like the flow like this here. I'd like to go through and break a lot of my walls and do a lot of this stuff where it's broken and there's pieces sticking in and out and all that. I just, for now, I'm doing the flat walls because this is taking a long time. So then we have the stairs. Everything here is done up really nice. It's all edged nice, all framed good. There is, all of this is done mostly. I haven't done, that pole's in the way. I haven't done this part yet, but I've gone through, made all the poles covered. This one's not the greatest, but it's good enough. And I've gone through and done all the railing here as well. And we're gonna do this roof right away. Then I've gone through and on each of these where the windows are or any supports, I've added just supports because I think it looks a lot more natural having an actual support into like your walkways and stuff. That one needs to be moved back a little bit, so I'll do that after. But now the biggest thing is, once this is all done, it's just decorating however you want. One thing I might do actually, so this, I might put like a pole here or something and stretch, yeah, let's do that. I want to stretch it down for that curve, so this won't snap, unfortunately. That one does. And then we might like fill this in now and have, I don't know, something here, or I'll just leave it like this, we're not sure. But then we get this nice little area for like torches or whatever we have to do. And we still need fires in this area. We have to remember that there's going to be fires throughout this and torches and everything. But yeah, let's focus on trying to figure out the roof now. So thankfully, because we put all these supports underneath, our roof actually holds itself up pretty well. I haven't added a single support yet, other than on the back here, I put a beam going up, and you can see I just haven't finished it yet, but the beam just goes up, and here it's actually grounded, which is like pretty awesome, and that's because of the iron poles that go all the way up to here. They actually connect right there, so we don't have to worry about doing any more supports. And then all I did here, I took one of these and added it. I had to break this first. Sort of the shaky screen. And I just put it here. And it's going to go through. We're going to have a few things that cut through. I'm not worried about that right now. We're going to do a few different things. So what I want to do, between this side's done, or done-ish, so you can see it's done there. I've reframed it, added the top piece there, and then did these on the side. Now what I want to do, there should be 12, I think, pieces between here and here. And this is going to go out farther out the front. Normally what would happen is like it would kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it would taper. So like this would go out farther and it would slowly come back to this point. But we aren't able to do that. So we're just going to extend it out and hope it looks good. And then there'll be a rounded roof underneath and a rounded roof in the back. Now what I want to do, it's getting dark, so let's do this real fast. We're going to take these really quick. Let's do it on this height, I think. Yeah, let's do it on this height. So we're going to do this one here and that one there. We're going to take these, if I can, snap it like this. Oh, I'm going to fall. Come on, don't fall. Just like this. Put a wall here. It's going to snap through the inside. We're going to see it. We can deal with it later. I'm not worried. I want to make these like pop out. Don't fall on the inside. Oh my god. These steep roofs you can't stand on. Basically, we're making windows that pop out the side. I want to do 2 on the... This is going to work from here. I want to do 2 here and 2 out the back for sure. And then same thing on the other side. So we'll just continue those. I'll bring you guys back in the daytime when I can actually show what I'm doing. It's taken a long ass time, but our roof is done. Now I've done a lot of little things here, so it might take a minute to explain it all. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go into the cheat mode and we're gonna go debug mode so I can fly, debug mode so I can fly around and show you guys exactly what's been done here. So let's go outside first of all. We'll start at the front. So we have a rounded roof. We have a regular roof here, right? And then we have our rounded roof. Now all I did was the rounded roof started off this wall, it comes across, and it just follows the pattern we had here. It's 3 this way, 3 or 4 across, 3 this way, and then it continues around. This roof, we had to put these 2 pieces in. I'm missing 2 pieces here. Actually, nope, we should be on this side. I had to finish the edging here, right? And then all I did for these windows is we put the piece in, put a wall, a floor, and an X. I did a couple over here as well. The only difference is I put the smaller X, and I only put a half floor, and then I framed it so it looked a little bit better there. I didn't do that on the back of these, but I did do these ones. And then on the very back here, it's the exact same thing as the front. It is a rounded roof that just follows the pattern we had already made. So let me go in here. All I did was continue these beams all the way up, put all the X's in, so it's a nice lattice thing. We need to finish this wall with something here. I don't know exactly what I want to do, if I want to do a wall or if we want to do beams up or what. I haven't really decided that yet. But we fill that in, then we got the roof done. You can see there's a few gaps. We have to go through and fill these. Or, I mean, unfortunately, it is a Viking thing. These would never be perfect in the first place, so it's not a huge deal as long as it all covers and the roof looks good, keeps water out, etc. Now, what I've done around here, I've gone ahead and I basically climbed the roof, climbed through the windows, made a bunch of scaffolding, and I put X's around this entire top part. What it does is it hides a lot of the flaws, and it goes in with the window. So basically there's a floor, right, all the way around. There's a little gap here we have to deal with. There's a floor all the way around. It's framed with on the bottom half, and then there's X's put in there. That should probably go away. Yeah. Right, so then it's just X's all the way around. It just hides a lot of little things. Same with over here. So this is just the window part. All I did was instead of putting walls in, I put X's. And then unfortunately you have this little piece that overhangs, but I did it on purpose. So that way from the bottom, it hides some of the, like, you're gonna end up with gaps. You're gonna end up with gaps here. So basically it's a matter of you either go straight or you round it and have gaps. And the reason for it is because we're limited on the sources of the pieces we've got. So this is basically, there's little patterns here. You can do however you want on the roof, but this is the basic outline of the entire build. I'm probably, you could put a room up here if you want. You could put multiple rooms up here if you want. And I am actually thinking about that still. I'm thinking about putting a little room right here, but I don't know if we should. Or if we should use one of these rooms over there. I'm thinking about putting this one over here as maybe storage, and this one over here as bedroom, and ripping this piece out. I might change this out and make this a little bit more of a fancy bedroom or something. And then we need to go through and we need to fill this. We need flags, we need chairs, we need rugs, all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna spend a bunch of time and I'm going to do all of that, and I'm gonna fix all the wood that's green. And when I come back, we'll do a little tour, and hopefully this build will be done. Well guys, after several days and many hours, I am finally ready to present this to you guys, and I really hope you guys enjoy. Over the course of me filming this, we were able to hit 1,000 subs on the channel, so I cannot thank you guys enough, and I'm looking forward to continuing that up and doing a lot more builds for you guys. So let's check this out. Basically, this is the overall build here. Now again, it was inspired by the game For Honor. There's a Viking Hall there that I really liked. I'll probably put a link to the description, or a link in the description to some concept art that I found for that, just so you guys can kind of compare, and hopefully we did it some justice. So down here, we took the river and we kind of made it go into the mountain here. We framed all this in and kind of made it so it's more built up and usable. Now over here, I started making pathways, which need some work. All the terrain here definitely needs a little bit more work. We need some trees. We need to level this out a little bit more. We need to shape this a little bit. But for now, it's looking pretty decent. I've gone ahead, added more fires outside, just trying to give it more of a grand look. There's more fires over there. I mean, this is the, from down here, I want to be able to see it from down bottom of town, right? And I think with the fires, it definitely does that. This entrance is pretty grand, and I think it turned out really well. So on the inside here, we start with a sunken fire pit, which I think every good Viking Hall has to have. A sunken fire pit, whether it's got food on it or not. There definitely needs to be that. I mean, just for one, just to heat the area, right? We got a couple of braziers here. Now, I used to have more. Unfortunately, they cause a lot of smoke, and I really didn't like how much smoke was coming into the throne area. So we only have a couple here now. Then we got our thrones with the portal behind. We have a couple trophies and a couple wards, which I think just add to this. And then the rail around definitely makes this look, I mean, it definitely looks very grand and inviting. It's very rich in my opinion, and I think it looks really good. Over here, we've got these little outcroppings, which have some trophies or weapons or whatever. You can put whatever you want in here. They're kind of just open for now. And then there's some seating area for like your main warriors or whatever. And then a little dining hall for the rest of your guys or whatever you have. Now, obviously, this could use a lot more detail and stuff in here. Some flags, some weapons, all that. But we can get to that eventually. I'm not too concerned. Now, over here, there's a little bit of a workshop here. It's just a small forge, a couple of the forge tools, some upgrade stuff, some anvils, There's a stone cutter, all the basics, tanning rack, you got a workbench here, just so there's like a basic maintenance area here type of thing, and like a spot for people to work. Because I'm assuming there's gonna be some guys working and doing stuff in here. Or you know, the king, the main Viking dude, he's making new weapons or whatever. Then there's a small little kitchen area. So another fire with a whole bunch of fermenters. Because we don't have a lot of decoration, the fermenters to me are a big thing. And they look really, really cool. So this is going to be multiple things of wine and mead and whatever else we want. So you can serve all these guys over here when they want food or drink or whatever. So then let's take a tour upstairs. Now here we've got just a little bit of storage, and I wanted it to be kind of messy, kind of thrown about, just as if you're up here and you're going to be watching the dress of the king or whatever. And obviously the biggest trophy, the sea serpent, which is a huge trophy, and I really like that actually. There's the two entrances, or the two exits going out. So let's start on this side. Now, over here, it's just a little bit more seating, and again, some random storage. And this was kind of inspired by the concept art. There's definitely lots of storage in it, and it was kind of just thrown about, which I think is a really cool way to do it. So it's not everything needs to be nice and pristine and organized all the time. There definitely needs to be a little bit of chaos to help the build look like it's being lived in. Nothing is perfect, especially when you got like people around or whatever. Over here, we elevated this. I made this into a really cool bedroom. Now I took the floor out that was here. You can see there's still stuff on the roof. There was a floor up here. I took that out, and I wanted to make this into more of a really grand bedroom. So we've got some wards and some storage. We got the personal safe, the big storage there, the dragon bed with a nice fire, and a little seating area for whoever up here. And then it goes out the back, and you can see it's really it goes out here, and you can definitely see all the terrain out back, which definitely needs some work still, but I think has turned out really good. And then obviously we've got the overlook here. Now I should probably fix these floorboards, but I haven't gone ahead and done that yet. Most of the stuff is fixed, but some of it's not. And one of the things that we could do is hang some lighting from the roof, but I really think that this lighting turned out pretty decent in here. I mean, it's a lot of lights, but I think for me being on fire right there, that this turned out really, really good. So on that note, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a really fun build for me. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. Once again, thank you for the support on 1,000 subs, and I really hope we can do another video for 100,000 in the future. Anyways, guys, on that note, I will see you guys next time.